money's worth from us. We saved their agents and got most of Avon's weapons off the board. Now, they want us to take down his short-range missile launchers before he does something, This is... Hey, Parker, what's... I've got...
You need something, huh? One of your rides? Let me know. Okay, I got stuff to do. I'm on the clock. What you want? Some wheels? I'll get back to it then. You're through to your garage. You, need me to bring you a ride? It's on the way. What you need, boss? Some wheels? I can bring them around. I'll get back to work.
So I've done this whole, so far I've done this whole broadcast mute classic. For those just joining me, I am doing a gift card to friends glitch. I was talking through the whole thing, and only now did I realize that I was actually on mute this whole time. I guess it's something I need to work on. Okay, so as the receiver of the gifted vehicle, you have to go ahead and wait for the request to be in their CEO, and then they will bring out a vehicle from the vehicle warehouse under manage vehicles, request special vehicle. If their special vehicle, if they haven't returned their other vehicle that they're showing you that they're going to transfer, they need to return it before they're able to request a special vehicle. I'm just saying that because that's literally what I did. I hadn't returned my personal vehicle, so I couldn't request a vehicle warehouse vehicle. So much word repeating it themselves. Alright, so the person who is gifting the vehicle goes ahead and opens up their blue interaction menu. Gently crashes into the garage. The other person opens up their interaction menu, and then the gifter presses circle to drop their interaction menu. The receiver stays in the interaction menu, leaves the CEO once he gets kicked out of the vehicle, and then requests a mobile operations center, and then lets the person who's gifting know where that mobile operations center is. Person gifting can actually teleport to the nearest spot, making the whole process a lot easier. I'm not going to go through the details of teleporting, but just letting you know, for those who can teleport, that is an option. You know, if you're trying to break down and reduce the time it takes for you to do these things. Now once you've teleported there, you run to the MOC, and then you drive it into the preferred spot. Again, as the gifter, you want to do all the driving at the MOC. Yes, somebody more experienced than you could be telling you, no, I'll go. As a receiver, I'll go get it, I'll drive the MOC, but they don't know your vehicle warehouse parking places. So it's best that you get like really like acquainted with that. You can see on the map driving over. The other thing about this weather, these events, is the roads are so much slipperier. So the gifter needs to go ahead and hide behind to go and clear up the spaces, which means sometimes there's cars parked near those spots and they need to move those cars like it's doing right now. You gotta try to avoid any kind of gang fights or cops being called. It's a real science. It's a real science to, yes, you can be one person out, but you just gotta let it go after that so that you avoid cops and gangs. Okay, so the gifter goes and hides behind the MOC, pressing R1. I've never had a situation where you have to hide in a specific spot, so if that's something you think you've learned, it's not true. What I do have to do is join story mode and then quit story mode by pressing circle. The Franklin story mode, but I don't have Franklin on this, so I use someone else. And there you go. So now I'm glitched out. You can tell I'm glitched properly because it's just a black screen. It doesn't have a loading circle. If you have a loading circle, well, it didn't work, and you probably have to leave the game and come back. But now it's worked. So the gifter goes ahead and drops the vehicle they want to gift over the spot. Again, using the teleporting method goes a lot faster. And when ready, the receiver receives the vehicle. Now, when you spawn into your MLC, it doesn't save it into your MLC. You need to do one or two things to save it from here. Now, it could save in your MLC, but it's risky. It's a risky save. So you drive out and drive back into your MLC. That's one option. Or you can request a vehicle from the garage where you want to store it and drive that into the MLC to switch places. And that would also save it. But in this case, I drove out, drove back in. Because now I'm on to the merge. Perfect. So I'm going to go ahead and teleport to the arena to stand by the ticket booth. Now, it genuinely doesn't matter if you have the car you want the mods out now, or you do this at the LS car meet. I always like to keep an eye on the cars that I'm using for mods. Because as you all know by this point, if you watch my other videos, I like to be organized. Okay, so I hover over a job. I usually use the job right here. That's beside the arena, but it doesn't have a little motorcycle. And then I join an Anahuac 1P5 because I'm just going to check what targeting mode I am actually. I suspect I'm on the targeting mode that assisted aim partial. Yes, that's the one that I am on. That's the one that I suspected I was on. That's why assisted aim partial, you need to join Anahuac 1P5 if you're on PS5. One, two, three, X, X. There you go. Now, there's all these things about booms and listening to the booms and so on. I just count 1, 2, 3, X, X. I just find it easier because if I'm trying to figure out these booms, a lot of times I get confused. That's just a trick I picked up on the way. Okay, so from here we'll join. I've gone ahead and contacted Anahuac 10P5, and then I'll have the other character go into the LS car meet. Now, very important, which a lot of people don't know, is that you can't have your character. You can't have your character be use the same car that you're going to use for the merge, or you're going to use to merge onto. That will mess up the glitch. So all 3 vehicles that are being used need to be 3 different vehicles. You can't merge a Lost Slamvan on top of a Lost Slamvan. No one tells you these things. I tell you these things because I've learned through the hard way. So the other person goes ahead and joins, gets to LS car meet, whatever method, whatever means necessary. They leave the game, they spawn into LS car meet, they drive there, they walk there, they run there, whatever it takes. Now for organizations, for, you know, just in the sake of being organized, go back to what we just talked about earlier. The vehicle that the glitched out character has now is the one that I drove in and out of the MOC, so I can request personal vehicle. Now, if ever you want to use the vehicle in your MOC to merge two, you can't. You need to change garages. Because you can't request a vehicle in the MOC when you glitched out. And the vehicle that is being used to run the sprint that I'm bringing into the LS car meet through the other character. So the other character's vehicle in the sprint to start the sprint has to be different than the one he just gave Cars to Friends. So I just requested any random vehicle. And then you invite to the LS car meet. Now the downside of bringing out the vehicle at the arena that you want to use the mod is that sometimes you have a cooldown to request your personal vehicle. I don't mind. Reason being is I'm organized. I know what I'm getting. I'm bringing this car and I'm going to merge it onto the vehicle in the agency, the Jubilee. Actually, scrap that. I'm going to put it on the Tornado Custom, which is in apartment 5, Eclipse Boulevard, apartment 5. So I go ahead and get into the other person's vehicle. At which point they start a sprint. I accept the sprint, and 2 seconds before the sprint starts, they go into their blue interaction menu under Manage Vehicles, return personal vehicle to storage when there's 2 seconds remaining, not 3, 2 seconds. 3 seconds, it won't work. Now, excellent. Now I'm glitched out. The other person needs to stay in the LS car meet until the end of the merge, at which point they need to leave the game. A black screen means I am joining Anahuac 10P5. From this point on, I register as a CEO, I go into CEO Vehicles, and I request a buzzer. Now for those that are wondering, will delivery from the Lost Slamvan merge onto the other vehicle. No, that's not how liveries work. I'm not going to go into detail on how liveries work or liveries, but I just want to let you know that the livery or livery does not transfer over. That's not how that part of it works. A livery or livery could transfer over depending, but the one that you're merging from specifically is not going to. Alright, so from this point on, I join Anahuac 10P5, and I don't do it until the vehicle's flashing. You go to CEO abilities, and then you request a luxury helicopter, which is the first option. Sometimes hard to see because it's white on a very bright sky. I drive over to where normally the good old luxury helicopter spawns. I enter the luxury helicopter. I go to the Maze Bank Tower. And I think ahead, the vehicle I'm going to merge on top of is the Tornado Custom. That's in apartment 5, Eclipse Boulevard. Boo-boo-ba. Apartment 5, Tornado Custom. Again, this is what's good to be organized. You're so focused on the merge with the Jubilee, but you forget that you don't want those big marshmallows. It's easy to get excited and just merge onto the Jubilee. Okay, once you're outside, you request a buzzard. There's a Tornado Custom that's being used for the wheels to be changed. So I use a Tornado Custom, and I have a specific apartment with the Vagrant and the Formula 1 vehicle. Those are working vehicles. They're like the middle step when you want to change your wheels to Benny's wheels or to Formula 1 wheels. Or if you want, the Vagrant is there for once you've done those steps, if you want to merge or change the livery to a hidden livery. Alright, so then you fly up in your buzzard and you jump out when you're high enough. You prepare to join Anahuac 10P5, but you don't join them. Not until you see the vehicle flashing with me inside of it, as you see on the screen now. At this point, the other person leaves the session, and what I would recommend is that they close the game altogether if you're going to do another merge with them. They close the game and then they rejoin the invite you had sent them earlier by spawning into the LS car meet. Meanwhile, we're going to take this vehicle over to Benny's. Now the reason why this is being used for merging, is that the color, the purple, is this really beautiful light purple that I want to use. But I don't want these wheels. So the first part is to merge it on top of a Benny's. Because these are Benny's wheels. To then change the Benny's wheels to the wheels that I want. Now you're navigating without a mini-map, so you just have to start to get used to the landscape, the locations. I am not good at this part, but I get a but I get through it. Yes, I do take different routes all the time. That seems to be part of my MO. Simply put, the only thing that I want to change here is my wheel type. And yes, these are clearly a Benny. This is clearly a Benny's vehicle on top of using Benny's tires on top of Benny's vehicle. And simply all I'm doing is changing the design of the tires. I'm just changing the tires. And while I'm here, I'm going to just make sure that the wheel color is unselected and that the respray is still on the unselected color. Because again, with merges, these things can have a way of messing up, or some pearlescent shows up when you least expect it. Excellent, so this is still a fully clean vehicle. At this point you get an invite to the LS car meet. And you're doing a back-to-back merge, so then you request your personal vehicle, which is going to be the Tornado Custom. You get into your friends or the other person's or the other character's vehicle. I'll just say the other person's vehicle, that'll be easier. They start up the sprint. Having closed the game and coming back has made it so that they are able to start sprints back to back. You accept the sprint, and when there's 2 seconds, when there's less than 2 seconds remaining, the other person will go ahead and go to manage vehicles, return personal vehicle to storage when there's 2 seconds left. Not any more seconds. It can't be at 3 seconds, it has to be 2 seconds. At this point you're going to be in this locked black screen. You join Anahuac 10P5. I'm in assisted targeting mode partial, which is the most common. This is where most YouTube videos you'll have are going to tell you that that's the one that to be in. And that's why you join Anahuac 10P5. I request a buzzard. Fly up in the sky high enough so that when you jump out you have time to join Anahuac 10P5, but you don't join them right away, you just prepare to join them. You only join them when you're in the car and flashing, or after. From here you go ahead and request a CEO luxury helicopter, and then you drive over to where your luxury helicopter spawns. Now normally mine spawns here, so I immediately make my way to this spot. There are some different spawning locations, you just have to know yours, and generally I believe it's here. Get into your luxury helicopter. Now you think ahead. What the car that I'm going to request to do the merges on is going to be the Jubilee, which is in the agency. I wrote it down. Walk over to the receptionist. You can get a bit lost in the office. It's very normal. And that looks like I went into my closet, so I try to find a way to the door. Here we go. So then from here you request the Jubilee, which you're going to merge on top of, which is again in a nightclub. Oh no, the agency. And then the vehicle I'm going to use next is the Xeno. I want the same merges onto the Xeno. When you're outside, you request your buzzard. Actually no, the Xeno's. So you see how this is a slightly darker purple? I know it's minuscule, but this is for a friend, so I want to make sure that it's perfect.
It's all over, no matter where you like to tell it. I'm a soldier. I feel like go up my spine. She could be taking up all my time. You just be chilling on your side. I want you to come by.
Fly upon the buzzard. Jump out when you're high enough to start joining Anahuac 10P5. And remember, don't join Anahuac 10P5 until you're flashing in the car. There you go. That's the color. Slightly lighter than the other color.
There's a couple things that I need to do while I'm here. Pay attention to the small things when God speaks in my ear. Just let it go, it's incredible. You surrender all the fear.
Go ahead and leave the session with the other character or the other person. Amazing. So the colors change. We've lost a few features on it, which is normal. That's one thing you have to remember. If you're going to be merging or changing wheels, some of the big additions you've added might be removed because the vehicle you're merging from doesn't have them. So add them after the fact, not before the fact. So there you have it. Using the Lost Slamvan, I'm able to get a color that I wanted. You gotta be opportunistic when you see something and you can use it. I tried to replicate this color, but I was unable to. And then you change something on the vehicle at the LS Customs. for some reasons the windows are selected. And that's probably because I didn't check before I did the merge. I just assumed that it was fine. So I'll change something on it, and then using Netcut we will fix the interior, the window problem.
Said I'm better when I'm not alone. It's best when you feel it all that subtle. Hit it back to back like a drizzy song. I don't let it talk when I'm in the zone. Shorty know my name, better sing it, babe. It's a team sport, how you want it, babe. Hit you on the dresser, arch that back, babe. Show me something new, make that ass shake. Yeah, I love it when you talk to me, especially when I'm all up in your ovaries. That pussy hugging me, I don't wanna leave. Might just touch your name with my heartbeat. Cause with you, I don't feel the same. Tried other pussy, I don't feel the same. When I'm with them, I don't feel a thing. When I'm with you, I feel everything.
So what I have to do now is I have to go and fix the window. The window has a none selected. It says none selected. So I have to get unglitched. And I get unglitched by joining Anahuac 10p5, but and then not accepting to change targeting modes. So now I need to do a gift card to friends glitch twice. So I need to have two cars. One that has, well, this one always has black interior color. So the one that needs to be fixed, so you need to gift two cars. One that needs to be fixed, which is the Jubilee, and then the vehicle that you want to take the mods from, which is actually fine because that Italy RSX I can use. And at the moment what I need to do is I need to determine which of the found PlayStation 5s, because I have two consoles, which of the found PlayStation 5 is the left one and which one is the right one. I use left and right because of my screens. So I drag one of the PS5s from netcut over to the left, and at some point the internet's going to shut down. So if the broadcast ends, it's because I'm testing to see if which one is the left PS5 in the netcut. And if it doesn't cut out, it's because it's the other one. What I'll do in the meantime is I'm going to look to see where my Tally RSX, which is in Eclipse Boulevard. Actually, it doesn't matter, because both cars will go on top of the magic slot. I'm just joining Anuak to see, testing the netcut. Okay, so this one, the one that I tried to test is not the one working for this console. So that determines that the other one is the right console. Okay, so first things first is I'm going to go ahead and gift the Jubilee over to the other account. Oh, maybe it is this console. No. I don't know what it says, job no longer available. Okay, so the vehicle that I'm going to transfer over is the Jubilee. So I guess at the end of the day what I'm going to actually end up doing is putting in a panic plate on this vehicle anyway, as well. So that's actually going to look quite awesome. And invite the other player to join the session. So now I'm the gifter. Earlier I was the receiver, so if you want to see that, is earlier in the stream. So that's the vehicle that I'm going to gift over. That I'm going to purchase into my magic slot, and then they're going to pull out the Italia RSX, which using the magic slot I'll be able to transfer all the clean modded parts to it. To the window, the interior, trim color, and the plate. As well as I think like underlighting and so on. So odd little things like that. don't get to pick the things that you want transferred over, by the way. It's the very specific. And delivery as well, if there's a livery. Which it might be, actually. Alright, first you need to gift card a friends glitch. So in this case, I am the gifter. Fastest way to get somebody into your MLC is just to invite them, have them register in your CEO, and then when you see that they're in, you just quit your CEO and then have them immediately request the MLC once they're outside. Like I'm doing right now. They tell you where that MLC is spawning. And they can kindly also drop a car for you so that you can drive it over. And this will reduce the delays. And this is the actual car that I'm going to be using to transfer the clean mods over to the Slamvan. Sorry, the Jubilee. So as I said before earlier at the beginning, the first gift cards to friends glitch I did earlier, I don't know if I mentioned it in the stream because it was on mute for 12 minutes. The gifter always goes and gets the MOC. That should be the rule. It just makes it easier because they know where to park the MOC, so they can have that perfect hard blue circle. When you're the receiver, if you go and get the MOC, sometimes you just park it somewhere where it's really annoying, or you cause some sort of event like a gang fight or a police event. So the person who's receiving goes into the MOC. They verify that the vehicle that's there is the one that they want as a donor vehicle, because they do lose the donor vehicle, so you have to be very careful. And then they drive it out, they drive it back in, they drive it out, drive it back in, walk out, walk back in to get it. Once you've done that, the recipient goes into the map pause menu like you see there, and then the other person drives in, pressing right on the D-pad to get into the MOC. It'll kick out the recipient, who then the giver, sorry, it'll kick out the gifter, and then the gifter goes and adds the receiver to their CEO and requests a specialized vehicle. In this case, I got a little bit distracted because I have some crazy dude running after. and I actually got the wrong vehicle, so I'm gonna return that vehicle. And I'm gonna get the rocket Voltic. And using the rocket Voltic, I'm going to drive into the garage with the person receiving the vehicle, the receiver. So the gifter has their blue interaction menu open. Go ahead and you gently hit the garage door. Gently or fast, it doesn't matter, as long as you hit it. The other one, the receiver opens up the blue interaction menu. Go ahead and close your blue interaction menu after the other person has opened up theirs. The receiver waits until they're completely kicked out of the vehicle, leaves the CEO, and then requests the mobile operations center, and then lets the gifter know where that is. And at this point it's spawning at the arena, so I'm gonna go ahead and teleport. Okay, so at this point, go ahead and drive the MOC over the vehicle warehouse. As the gifter, you're driving this over to your own vehicle warehouse. And the roads are very slippery because they're wet. So as the gifter, you go ahead and hide behind the MOC, and then the receiver will do the Franklin thing, or the story mode thing. I do it 3 times. Some people do it a billion times. I do it 3 times. Now the receiver has been glitched out. You can tell because they're no longer on the map, and they tell you that they have a black screen without a loading symbol on it. So it's black screen, nothing else on it. That's when you know you've glitched out. And go ahead and teleport to the spot where you want to drop the gifted vehicle. Hey Doris. Alright, so now dropping off the gifted vehicle, and the other player is going to go ahead and pick it up. Like so. If you see a vehicle you like that you just want to... I'm on PS5. Are you? Alright, so now the receiver has the gifted vehicle, and reminding you that the gifted vehicle is the vehicle that has the scratches on it, the one that you need to clean up, so that it's a clean modded vehicle. I'm doing merges and getting modded vehicles in GTA, and I found like a defect on the modded vehicle, so I had to fix it up. Okay, so now we have all the components we need to fix this scratched vehicle. Go ahead and go to the LS car meet. Just teleport there. Once you teleport there, you invite the other player into the LS car meet. So in order to clean a scratch vehicle, you need to purchase two vehicles. You need to purchase the vehicle that is scratched, and then you need to purchase the vehicle that is clean. Basically, you do this with purchase on top of your magic slot. Using netcut. I'm not going to go into detail what that is, but the final result is that your window, interior decor, wheels are going to get transferred over, wheel number, livery, smoke, horn, onto the scratch vehicle. So first part is simple. You go ahead and you purchase this vehicle on top of your magic slot. And then the second part is what gets a bit tricky. Because you have to go ahead and purchase the other vehicle on top of the magic slot, but also then quickly join story mode for 50 seconds, 45 to 50 seconds. It's good to have a timer when you do this. So your magic slots should always be the same spot, so you don't get it confused. Just always keep track of it. In my case, it's department 3, and it always has to be in the first spot. So that's the vehicle that I want to clean up. And I'm also going to transfer panic plates on it. Okay, so the stream is going to end because I have to use Magic Cut. Because I'm using net cuts, it's going to end. So in order to clean up your vehicle, you purchase the clean vehicle on top of your scratch vehicle that's in the magic slot. And as you do that, you need to, using net cut, drag your console to the left, and then you have to